Well, welcome. I'm back and I'm here with another message from the divine. As I've been meditating, I wanted to share this, and I was led to share this, and I'm gonna do it. Even as shy as I am, I'll get out here and do it because this is what you're to do when you're called. And so, being obedient, I'm going to put this message out here. Today's message is about something that all of us want to talk about, and a lot of us who are out here as light workers, we don't like to talk about. Has to do with unions, and a lot of people will come to us about who's my divine masculine, who's my divine feminine, please tell me, and all this other good stuff. And so I kind of wanted to talk about divine unions. And again, I was led to talk. And again, I don't want to talk. But in my higher self, I want to talk about it. Let's put it that way. Divine unions. So much is said about these things. So much is talked about, and it's a subject, and more of a subject, and it can, as a light worker, it can get you into a lot of deep situations as far as talking about who is your union and the divine masculine and the thoughts behind what a divine masculine and divine feminine is and all this other good stuff. But today, again, I want to focus on divine unions and what that is in and of itself. And believe it or not, divine unions are not always about a divine feminine or a divine masculine. Today is June 5th, 2025. And numerically and energetically, guess what that lines out to? The numeral 2. And the numeral 2 does talk about divine couples, but it also talks about duality. And duality is a very special law in spirituality, and it could be talked about forever, but divine unions is a good place to start. And it's an indicator of duality. I kind of want to open it up a little bit and discuss it on those levels. And it kind of flowed with today, because today is energetically a 2. So I thought that's kind of flowed. So I thought, wow, let me get out here and talk about it like I wanted to. So I've got my coffee. I'm probably not with a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon is very good for you. I wanted to remind everyone of that. In this moment in time, your energy is your wealth. Your energy is what you use to negotiate in this world. It is there for a purpose. And we are all called for divine purposes. And in this moment, this is very special, that your energy can be used to make beautiful things happen. And we're going to focus on that. My job in this moment is to be a certain thing. I was given a name. I've shared that name with some people, but today I just want to focus on my job and what I'm here to do, and that is to spread, share, and disseminate knowledge about spirituality and about the divine and love and what that is. And so back to the subject at hand, which is divine unions. I already said it indicates duality. And what does that mean? Well, duality has to do with light versus dark, or as above, so below, or masculine versus feminine, or up versus down. It has to do with the duality of energy. And the divine union is not only a divine union outside of yourself, but it's a divine union with the divine within yourself. Again, it's not only about outside, it's within. Did you catch that? The duality outside, within. So let's talk about it. Get my glasses on. Let's start with the divine union within. As we master the inner, you guessed it, we also master the outer. Outside of our physical bodies, we may find union, if that's what you call in. Remember, what you call in as your divine union, even within, is based on frequency. And due to the law of free will, we have to remember that frequencies outside of ourselves can change. The divine union within, there exists a frequency. And as we ascend, our frequencies change. And within ourselves, the divine union has to match and merge. So that's very interesting. So while we have changes outside, we have changes within as we grow. And that divine union within grows, but has to match with the divine as we level up. So it's very, very interesting. On Earth School, we have to remember that free will is a thing and that we cannot control people. But here is the divine peace, P-I-E-C-E, or the divine peace, P-E-A-C-E. Take it how it resonates. And divine union remains intact, whether it's a peace outside of yourself or peace within yourself. Divine unions remain intact because we are one within. Therefore, this is the rough part, do not blame another soul that it becomes and gets out of frequency with you, because you do not control that other soul. The other soul may be distracted. There may be some kind of issue that the divine wants to work with them on, and it takes you out of union with them. And so there's no blame. Now, if there's some negative energy, which I've had to deal with in the past, you deal with that. But don't take that on. Your heart is still intact. Your union is still intact within. And so therefore you move on and you grow. And if you want to facilitate a divine union outside of yourself in the form of another human, that's okay. And that is a beautiful thing, a very beautiful thing. But you cannot force it and you cannot look for it. How about that? Divine unions are just that, divine. Outside of yourselves, it is a divine appointment. It is a divine interaction. It is a divine love. There's a divine connection. And so these things happen, and that is a good thing. And so you continue to open your heart, or your heart remains open, because here's the key. You have an inner peace and another inner peace. Remember the two pieces. Duality there too. Woo. Remember the two pieces. That is kind of corny. I'm so sorry. Remember the two pieces, and remember that you have the divine union of peace within. And therefore, we do not have to search. It is an illusion to believe that you do not have a divine union within. Let me say that again. That is an illusion, because your divine union is. The truth is, the divine union is always there. So again, we talked about duality. We talked about the union within is where we start. We talked about you call in a divine union outside of yourselves based on your frequency, and within yourselves is also based on your frequency. Divine unions remain, and we do not blame as frequencies can change. Lack of union is an illusion. Now, I thought about this. How do I talk about this and share about this in a story format or a way that will resonate with just people who are outside of spirituality, haven't been studying this stuff, and we're not talking about all the different energies and frequencies and stones and resonations and reflections and all the good stuff. So I thought, let me tell a story. Let me give an example. And the closest example I came to was the example of the love of a child. The love of one's child is such a beautiful thing. And the clarity that we see when we do have the love of a child. Now, for those of you who don't have children, you may have pets, or you may have a special child that's a niece or a nephew, or a friend's child that is you've grown up with that becomes your godchild, and you have a special connection. And you see that love encased in that child outside of yourself. And you understand that you are going to love that child because of the love that you have for that child. You're going to love that child regardless. You're going to love that child no matter what happens. You're going to love that child. And even if you have to, discipline the child, or you have to bring that child as that child grows into adulthood, which they do, and there's still love of yourself outside of yourself. Trust me. And as you see that child, you may need to allow that child to deal with its own karma, and allow that child to become accountable and hold them accountable for their actions. And even so, even as difficult as that is, because we understand that is an important aspect of being a parent, pseudo-parent for those who do not have children, or pet parent for those who have pets, you don't like having to discipline, but you know that holding them accountable, allowing them to deal with their own karma is also out of love. And I thought that was interesting too. Our spirit brought that to my attention. The characteristics, and I hope that resonates, the characteristics of a divine union is clarity, peace, gratitude, grace, and compassion. Those are the divine union's buddies, I'd like to say. And we have to remember that control, guilt, manipulation has no place in divine unions. Divine unions are in a deep, peaceful state. They exist in a peaceful state. And divine unions are gifts of the divine. Let me say that again. Divine unions are gifts of the divine. I just want everyone to remember that it's important to celebrate divine union within, without, and throughout. And we need to do that today and every day. So I hope this resonates. Again, let me go over the last few things. I kind of like doing this. We talked about the closest I can get to describing a divine union is the love of your child, quote, and how you see that love is love walking outside of your body, and how you love in spite of everything. You love deeply, and that resonates in your soul of your child. You resonate with that, and you can see what that, you can feel what that love is, and that's the closest I can describe it to you. we also have an inner child that we grow and love, and how we express ourselves by going back to that inner child that may or may not have been reared correctly. Okay, little bird, you're gonna have to go. Thank you. I don't like them to get out there on my balcony because birds don't have control. Fun fact, they don't have control over their bowels. So I thought I'd share that. Anyway, bye-bye. Anyway, divine unions are very, very important, that we celebrate them and that we come to understand that they are gifts, and that the divine union is something that is a gift to celebrate within and without, and we celebrate it today and every day. Now, what I wanted to close out with is, I thought that was a good message, very good message, very timely, spoke to me. I want to close out with an oracle card for the day and read the energy on that card. These are the oracle cards I'm using today, are the Kuan Yin cards. I love them. They're so pretty. And my shuffling game is no game. I don't have that there yet, but I know how to. These are big cards, but I'm shuffling them as best I can. And then I can cut them. And then I can just see what we have for today. Here we go. Divine Unions was the message for today. What is the message within the Kuan Yin cards? Good. Holy Spirit. And let me get my glasses on and let me read. We chose the Kuan Yin card, Blessings of the Moon Maiden. And I can't make this up. The number on the card is 2. You see that? Shout out to those who could read backwards. So let's go into the thank you, Spirit. And let's go into the card and let's read it. Number 2. Again, Blessings of the Moon Maiden. And it's interesting because the full moon is coming very shortly here. I think it's on the 10th or 11th. I have to look that up. I'll do that later. Someone will look that up for me. It's coming soon. I do know that. Let me drink this. Gifts of abundance and prosperity are flowing to you now. You are being asked to open up to what you believe is possible, and then open some more. The Moon Maiden with her lucky hair brings auspicious tidings of prosperity and abundance. The universe seeks to replenish, restore, and create through you. Allow yourself to receive beyond what you thought is possible by opening your heart with gratitude now. Let the blessings of good fortune from the beloved Maiden of the Moon flow easily into your life. Allow good fortune in all its forms to come to you. Don't limit what you are capable of attracting with false beliefs about how much you deserve or what you are worthy of having. The universe will share with you so much more than you imagine possible as you open your heart and let go of self-imposed limitations, doubts, or fears. The Moon Maiden blesses with great generosity, blessings of good fortune and peace. Wow, thank you, Spirit. Yet we must trust how those blessings come to us and accept that we may need to grow for those blessings to manifest in our lives. All blessings need energy within us in which to vest, like a seed needing soil in which to be planted so it can manifest in the physical world as a vital, healthy plant. Blessings such as a new partnership, life path, career opportunity, growth in personal or spiritual power, and financial healing require energy within us to be able to settle and grow into physical form and to be enjoyed and shared in our lives. Our beliefs, openness, vitality, and trust need to be big enough to receive the magnificence of blessings coming to us. Otherwise, it's like asking a wonderful, vast oak tree to be planted in a tiny pot or an ocean to be contained in a thimble. So open your heart, guys. So share something of what you have with others in a way that expands rather than depletes you. The divine feminine endlessly creates over and over again, flowing in cycles just like the moon. If you have been through a challenging cycle where your creative ability to manifest seems to be impeded, this oracle indicates that the tide is changing and your finances, energy, relationships, and vocation are being infused with abundant universal energy now. Accept this divine grace and know that your abundance helps others feel abundant too. It is a spiritual service to live a life of fullness and joy. Oh, cool. I guess that's appropriate, right, folks? Thank you, Divine. And thank you guys for this time. I hope this helps. I hope this helps a soul. I hope it helps someone as you listen. Thank you for listening. This video will be up on my entitled, on my YouTube channel, rather, entitled Divine Unions. And the YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/CalifiasRising. And you spell that CalifiasRising. It's Califias Rising. So again, thank you so much for joining. I'll hope and put this up for a little while on Facebook. But I don't think they leave it up all the way. So that's why I'll indicate on Facebook I'm putting it up on my YouTube channel. I'm growing my YouTube channel. If you want to donate to that, that's great. $MonaCat7. I'll put that in the comments as well. I'm doing a lot and learning a lot, and I appreciate you walking, sometimes running, sometimes jumping, whatever we're doing on my journey of sharing the life of the divine and the abundance and the joy of being alive now, and understanding that we are all here with a divine purpose, and understanding that divine unions are not just outside of us. It indicates duality. 2. Peace. Love you guys.